Democrats in Congress, including Senator Bernie Sanders, are urging tech companies to hit the pause button when it comes to artificial intelligence, warning of, quote, potentially cataclysmic results. Multiple polls over the past year have found Americans are worried about AI taking their jobs, rising utility costs related to the construction of massive data centers, and also a potential global recession if the industry goes bust. It's the latter that could end up affecting Americans' wallets the most. Data from Goldman Sachs found that AI companies account for nearly half of all value tied to the S&P 500, with AI-linked firms having a total valuation of more than $27 trillion. It's more than a third of the value of the entire U.S. stock market. Joining me now, I have Brendan Steinhauser. He is the CEO of the Alliance for Secure AI, and I'm so eager to get your thoughts this morning, sir. Thank you for your time.
It's good to be with you.
So Senator Sanders, in this letter to the CEOs of OpenAI, Anthropic, and Meta, said that the corporations have already lost control of AI models and called on them to pause development of, quote, building machines that humans cannot control. Do you agree with him on that, sir?
Well, I think as a statement of fact, he's correct in that the companies that are building models they don't currently control. There's been a lot of incidents, not only in the past month or so, but really looking back even over the last year where we've had loss of control scenarios, mostly in testing environments. We had one incident with Anthropic where one of their models months ago in a testing environment tried to blackmail an employee. And then recently we've had these incidents where OpenAI, Anthropic, and Meta have all reported that their agents went onto the internet, went rogue, and hacked into other companies. So I do think there's a major problem here, and I do think that Senator Sanders is right as a statement of fact.
Where we are now with artificial intelligence and the pace of which it is all progressing, are you more worried at this point or more excited about where we're going to take this technology in the future?
Yeah, although I'm very excited about the technology and what it can do for humanity, I think we're currently not on the right path. We don't have the proper safeguards in place. We haven't solved this problem of control, or what some call alignment, getting AI to do what we want it to do and controlling it. And so because we haven't solved that right now, and these models are increasing in capability about every 4 to 5 months, it's going to be a real problem as they get more and more capable, hundreds of times smarter and faster, and ultimately thousands of times faster and smarter than human beings. And so I think we have a real problem on our hands. And until we really are confident that we can control AI, I don't think we should be developing these advanced models that are approaching artificial general intelligence.
And as you know, this has become such a partisan issue as well. Just last week, the president claimed that those who opposed AI, those who opposed these data centers that are popping up across the country, that they're aligned with China. Take a listen.
It's mostly good. And the communities that are giving a hard time, now a lot of people think that's China-oriented. I think any community that turns down AI is making a big mistake because your taxes are going to go way down. There's a campaign against, data centers. But data centers, if you look at the stats, everything's good around them.
Brendan, a recent poll found that more than 60% of Americans say they would oppose a data center near them. Why do you think there's such a big disconnect between the administration and the public on this?
Well, I think the president will probably learn as time goes on that actually his base is very opposed to data centers right now. They're very skeptical of AI. They want safeguards. It's something like 85% of Americans want safeguards. They want to slow down and get it right. If you look at the numbers among Republicans, Democrats, and independents, they're not too far off. So really, I think the president usually has a pretty good knack for his base and where they are. But I think on this one, it might just take some more time. But I think if he goes out and travels around the country and talks to people and asks the question, I think he's going to see that overwhelmingly MAGA voters are currently opposed to data center construction in their communities. And if you look at what red states are doing, states like Texas, for example, Governor Abbott has called for a moratorium on some of these data centers. And I think he's seeing the politics of this coming in November. So I really encourage the president to get out there and talk to people, because I think the MAGA base is definitely very worried about AI.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.